Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of OSFirstTimer. In the last episode, Diana tried out Windows Vista made in 2007, and she's attached to Windows XP as you know, but Vista actually broke that attachment. Even though in Vista you can make your computer look pretty much identical to the classic theme in Windows 95, which is what she uses in XP, she still said, you know what, I like the Vista theme, I would keep that modern Vista theme. She likes the transparency of the operating system and she thinks it looks really nice and ultra modern. Now Windows 7 is the next step above Vista. And we're going to see, she liked Vista, but can she move up to Windows 7? Let's check it out. So, first of all, to compare to the Vista login screen, what do you think about the Windows 7 login screen? Mainly the background is different.
It's brighter. It looks more cheerful.
Okay, that's good. Now you can log in. Now just to say, in this episode, we're going to have a stopwatch on my iPhone 4S, which is just going to challenge her to see how fast she can do these tasks, and then we'll talk about the difference between Windows Vista and Windows 7 at the end of the video. But before we start the clocks watch and the speed challenge, tell me what you think about the way Windows 7 looks.
Yeah, fine. I don't have a problem with anything here. It looks logical to me.
Do you notice a difference between Windows and 7 and Vista just from looking at this?
Just this bottom bar thing looks a little bit bigger and brighter. It looks a bit
bigger and brighter?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Now, we're going to start the speed challenge to see how fast you can do these tasks. Okay, what time is it?
7:57 p.m.
Okay, fantastic. Can you write, save, and open a text document?
Why can't I find them? Oh no.
What's wrong?
I can't find it. Where's just Word, normal Word? Oh, I just have to search for Word. Yeah, that's it. Oh dear. This isn't going to be good. Here's the...
See if you can do it within 3 minutes.
Okay, so that's it. Save, I'm Control S, I'm assuming is save.
Okay.
I'm saving it in the documents library, closing it up.
Remember, we're trying to do this in 3 minutes.
Here's the document.
Fantastic.
There it is.
Okay, the next task
I
is
just couldn't find it.
What's 36 times 32?
Okay, get lost. Now, I'll just have to... Oh, there's a calculator. 36 times 32... 1152.
Okay, fantastic. Now customize the look of your computer, whether it's a Windows color or it's changing the desktop background.
Okay, I'm assuming I right click, personalize. Okay.
United States.
Okay, and it comes with music there too.
Fantastic. Okay, next is turn off the computer. Don't do it, but just tell me how you would do it.
Okay, that. Shut down. Oh, look,
fantastic.
I like that.
And it's taken from Vista. It's put the word shut down there rather than that. Fantastic. That took you about 2 minutes. So just 2 minutes.
But I don't know why I had trouble looking for the document thing. I could have just searched it from the beginning. But where's Word here? Oh, WordPad.
That's only appeared there because don't worry, it wasn't there before. You're not that silly. It actually shows you your recent documents here.
Yeah, I like that.
On the side.
Yeah.
So if you just put your cursor over that in recent documents, it's appeared there because it's something you use the most.
Well,
so
let's
if you
get
used
rid
it
of
more,
that.
It would have appeared. The more you use it, the higher it appears up that list.
Okay.
So basically, all programs, let me show you, is here just like in the Vista taskbar because this is very similar to Vista is here. And there's accessories and ease of access and all those things that you would usually access. So all your programs are accessed like that, and if you don't want to use it like that, you just type in what you want and it'll appear.
Okay, but I've actually got Word in my actual menu on my computer, and that's what I was looking for there.
Yes, it appears there automatically because you use it often. So
Yeah.
things you use often appear on the
Okay.
start menu. But these are just the default programs.
Okay.
But if you use some of these more often, they'll move up to the top.
Okay, yep.
Okay. Now, let's go over some of the differences. What are you noticing about the background? Have a little look at it for a little while. It's a rock.
Oh, it's changed. I had a castle, an American scene there. Now it's just a rock.
What do you notice about that? This was not in Vista.
But
So-
Vista had the random pictures on the side.
Oh, Vista had a taskbar with the gadgets. Now, what do you think happened with the gadgets? Do you think it was a flop? Windows 7 no longer has a sidebar. That Vista sidebar
Okay.
was removed.
Well, it was obviously a flop because that's why they removed it.
What happened is they didn't remove it, they modified the way it worked. So there's no longer a sidebar.
Oh, it's this thing at the bottom? Oh, no, that's just speaker and... Yeah,
No.
okay.
The gadgets are still in it. Let me show you. Gadgets. So they're no longer sidebar gadgets. Here they are.
Yeah.
But instead of being attached to a sidebar,
Oh, you
can
have to
put
open
these,
them.
no, anywhere on the computer you want. They can be
Oh, I
anywhere.
see.
So it can be down here,
I
like
see.
it's on a sidebar if you want, but it can be anywhere. So it's no longer forced to be
so
on a sidebar.
It's not restricted then to the side.
Yeah. So you can
Okay.
put like gadgets on your desktop like that.
Yeah, yeah.
You can put them at the bottom or wherever you want to put them.
Yep.
So we'll just put them at the bottom there. So that's one thing you can do. Now another difference is, and the difference you noticed was that you had a castle there before,
Yeah, where did it go? I didn't change it.
and now there's a rock.
Yeah.
Do you remember at what point that occurred, where it turned into a rock?
No, I don't remember. Just till you said to me what's happened to the background, then I noticed it.
Okay.
Maybe the castle blew up and that's it.
And that's what's left over?
That's what's left.
What do you notice about these?
Oh, they're in a group. They're in
a group of
So
photos.
if you choose, oh, I can see the rock behind the.
Yeah.
Oh, it's actually not a castle. It's a lighthouse.
Yes.
Okay.
So what's
I feel
happened?
stupid now saying castle.
So what's happened now is these pictures actually change.
Yeah.
Just over time. So you've never got the same desktop background. It'll just keep
Isn't
on
that
changing.
good? I like
So it's got a different. You can even set the interval. I think by default the interval is a few minutes
Yeah.
or 5 minutes or so. You can set the interval to be every 5 seconds, and your desktop background would keep on changing.
And I
so
noticed-
it's how often you want it to.
And I noticed when you selected it, it had a little
A
music.
sound,
Yeah,
yes.
thing.
So let's have a little look at these sounds.
Almost to make it dramatic that you're choosing a background for your desktop.
So
Oh, there we
so
go.
a nature sound or a landscape. Notice that desktop fades
Oh, this
instead
is
of
really,
just appears.
Oh, this is really good.
See?
Oh, I don't like that background. Yeah.
But there we go. So those are different sounds. What do you notice is the main difference between Vista and Windows 7
This
with the taskbar?
taskbar.
Yeah.
Well,
Open a
it's
few
thicker.
programs.
Okay.
So Windows Media Player, don't worry about that. Just keep on opening them.
Okay, let's play solitaire while we're at it.
Also open Magnifier, just because that's a program that you might be interested to see how that works.
Okay.
Great.
Right. Yep.
Fantastic. I'll just zoom out of Magnifier for you. This is for if you're having difficulty reading, you can zoom into the screen like this.
Oh, I see.
And to do this, you can zoom in closer, or you can zoom in further away.
Okay, we'll just put it to normal.
Yeah. So at the bottom of the screen, you may notice that a lot less room is being taken up in the taskbar.
Yeah, I see.
What do you think of the thumbnails? Have a look at the thumbnails and tell me what you think.
What's that got to do?
What? The thumbnail, those.
Oh.
What were you looking at? Oh, your thumbnail! The
So they're called thumbnails.
those are called thumbnails.
Who named them thumbnails?
They're almost like a little preview into the window. For example, let's say you wanted to see what was happening with Internet Explorer. Okay, let's say you had Solitaire full screen.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, oh, I wonder what's happening with Internet Explorer. So you'd put your cursor over Internet Explorer.
Yeah.
There is a thumbnail. Windows Vista had thumbnails, but you couldn't touch them. If you touch the thumbnail, watch what happens. It's showing you everything's turned into glass. Windows 7, well, not Windows 7, the Internet Explorer is now showing it if you put your cursor away from it. See?
I see. Yeah.
So you can quickly peek at something without clicking into it. So let's say you're doing a Word document, you'll just writing stuff down, peek into here, and then peek back.
I think that would be quite useful.
Yeah.
I would use that.
Also, let's say you've got a bunch of programs open.
Yeah.
This button here, let's say you're in Internet Explorer and you had a bunch of things and you're closing everything, minimising them all.
Yeah.
You can peek at the desktop by putting your cursor over it, and you can click it and it'll take you straight to the desktop. It'll minimise every single program.
Oh, right. Okay,
So that
well, that
button wasn't there.
saves time, yeah.
Now, what do you prefer, though? Do you prefer these box icons, like square, or do you prefer the long rectangles with text, as Vista and Windows Classic had?
Well, the long rectangles with text was more informative to me if you didn't understand what the pictures were, but this does look more modern, and I mean, over time you get to know what they are. So.
And the fact is that the old UI, excluding Vista, let's pretend this was XP, doesn't have thumbnails. So you may have had a bunch of... Let's say you've got documents open, you've got 6 text documents open, and they're just called all these names, and you're thinking, oh, you know, which is which, and you don't know. So what you could do is simply, in fact, let me show you. Let's open a bunch of text documents. So we'll open a bunch of WordPad files. So here's one, it has this on it. We've got another that has centered text, like that. And you've got another, last one, which has very big text. Great. So those are your 3 documents, and notice what's happening. It's not taking a lot of space up in here. It's just, look, like that.
Oh, they're all like pages.
Yes, they're all
one on
pages,
top of each
and then you can put your cursor over each, and it'll show you each one, peeking at them. See?
Oh.
See the big screen there at the top, and you can look at them like that.
I think that would be very useful, actually.
Okay. If it was
another thing I've noticed,
what?
actually, make the thumbnail thing come up again. It's got the thing around it.
Yes, it's got an outline around it.
Yeah.
And do you like the transition? When you move to each
Yes.
thing, it moves softly. It doesn't
Yeah, I
just
do.
flick to the next thing. It
I actually do like
transitions. And actually, something else you'll notice, if you look really close and carefully, you notice a colour that follows the mouse.
that. Oh,
So you know where the mouse is.
It's almost like highlighting.
Highlighting, yeah, and it's highlighting. It's almost like a little light around the mouse. You can move the mouse to each thing.
Yeah, I see.
And progress bars, you know how programs often have progress bars?
Yes.
A progress bar will actually appear in the taskbar of a program. So if something was being worked on, you would actually see a progress bar, green bar doing that.
Okay.
So if you're downloading something in Internet Explorer. So that taskbar has a lot of features built into it. And in fact, Media Player, if you're watching something, you can look in the taskbar, and there it is, a little preview of it in the taskbar.
Yeah, I see.
And you can even pause it,
Yeah.
and you can quit programs.
Yeah.
What do you think about that feature?
I just think this really does look like a very modern operating system.
Does it beat Vista? Right now, let's say you could upgrade to Windows Vista or Windows 7.
Well, look, I really loved Vista. In fact, Vista was one whereby I was prepared to have it installed on my computer, and goodbye XP, which is a very big thing for me.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, after you've shown me these extra features that Windows 7 has, and it's still easy to navigate, it's still, to me, a familiar operating system. And the other thing that I consider too is that obviously Windows 7 would be supported for a longer period of time than what Vista would. So, look, it's an easy decision, Windows 7.
Now, I've got to ask you something though.
Yes.
I showed you how to use this. I didn't let you work this out for yourself.
Yes.
At the end. Not to do the tasks, you did those by yourself.
Yes.
But this taskbar, I gave you a guided tour of it rather than letting you work out how it worked by itself. Do you think you would have worked out how this taskbar worked and understood it if I hadn't told you what it's like? For example, Windows 8, people are complaining that I gave you absolutely no help and I just let you run loose, and that you would have liked Windows 8 if I had told you how to use it.
Well,
do you agree with that?
To be completely honest, I know that Windows 8 comes with a tutorial. I did not look at that tutorial when I attempted Windows 8, and to also be completely honest, you caught me at a time where I was ready to go to bed. I was tired and it was the end of the day. I'd worked hard, and he said, you just threw me in front of the computer, said, Mum, try Windows 8. I was really just not in the mood to do it. So in all fairness to Windows 8, I really did not give it a fair go, and I feel although I will admit,
you don't like the way it looks.
I don't like the way it looks, but from comments that I've been reading from our subscribers and everything, I've heard that you can actually re-put that menu thing back.
With third-party software, you can.
Yeah, you can. So
there is free software and paid software.
Yeah. In all fairness, when you get that
tablet, Windows, it's called
the big iPad.
It's like one of these, but it's a little bit wider. That needs a screen clean, I know. I'm going to get a comment about that.
When you get that next year, and you put the Windows...
We'll test Windows 8 on it.
We will redo Windows 8.
With a touchscreen interface as it's meant to be used.
Yeah, and I will give it a fair go. Should I even listen to the tutorial?
You can watch the tutorial, yeah.
I think I will, actually, because that way it'll really give it a fair go. And, yeah. So just so that I don't get all these people angry saying that you didn't give Windows a fair go the first time. Yes, you're absolutely right. I didn't, because of the different circumstances involved, and how was I to know we were going to have a whole new channel and this and that when we got me to try that Windows 8. But anyway, look, I'm really enjoying this now. Even if I liked the look of Vista better, I could just put the look of Vista on the Windows 7, couldn't I?
Yeah, see this always combine, hide labels. If you click never combine, watch the taskbar carefully.
Oh, that's
it's gone
the
out.
Vista one.
Well, almost, because see, it's very big and fat.
Oh no, because it's big. Yeah, it's bigger.
Then you click use small icons.
Yeah.
Apply.
Now it's a Vista.
It's very similar to Vista, so Windows Classic, which looks like your computer, your old one. See that?
Yeah.
So those old, like, bluish tops to them, and this taskbar. See that?
Yeah. I'm still trying to remember what Windows 8 was, and I remember it was that cartoonish looking thing with all the boxes.
It still has the desktop on it, that Windows 7 desktop, and the only difference really is that there's no start button, and the windows in Windows 7, you'll notice they're very squared, not in this classic look, they're very curved.
Yeah.
In Windows 8 they're squared like this, but they're still transparent.
Oh, they are still transparent. You
Yeah.
know, I wouldn't have remembered that. As far as Windows 8 was for me, it was a step backwards as opposed to Vista and 7 look definitely very modern and attractive and everything. But in relation to Windows 8, I think that could work on like iPads and stuff, but the Windows 7 is more for the desktop type.
Yeah, so you think Windows 8, you find it difficult to use because it's got this big, massive interface on a big monitor. It's better for a little screen.
Windows 8 is meant for iPads. That's the thing.
Meant for Microsoft Surfaces, not for iPads. It won't run on an iPad.
Why not?
Apple is very specific. They don't want any other operating systems on their iPads. Microsoft is very specific. They don't want any other operating systems such as Apple systems on their Surfaces.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Oh, okay, I understand. So Windows 8 would only ever appear on Surfaces.
Yeah.
And then what's the operating system on the...
It's called iOS 6 currently.
Okay.
There's no option to make the start menu that old look where it pops out.
Oh, that's a shame because I like the popping out.
That's the only bad thing about this.
Because I think the popping out is a really good feature because you just cast your cursor over it and then you know exactly what's there rather than clicking on anything. That's a real shame. Now what did you do?
This is just another theme that comes with Windows 7. Do you like it?
No.
Okay, we'll change back to the Windows 7 theme.
Yeah.
There's the Windows 7 theme.
It looks almost like an MS-DOS operating system trying to be modern. That's what it
An
looks like.
MS-DOS trying to be modern.
Yes.
Oh, okay. What do you notice about Internet Explorer? What makes this different to this? It doesn't pop up.
Shows you a picture, whereas...
That program isn't open. It's on the taskbar without being open.
Oh.
Now,
Okay.
what
So
this
I have to
feature
click
is,
it.
imagine that you've got a Mac dock at the bottom of your screen
Yeah.
that you can drag and add any program you want
All right,
to
yeah.
the dock.
Yeah.
People were complaining when Windows 7 was first released, saying, look, this is a Mac dock. It's got your programs at the bottom of the screen and you can add what you want.
All right, yeah.
People are saying Microsoft copied Apple because look, this is like the Apple dock.
Yeah.
You see? So without the programs being open, and you can click a program from the dock to launch it. So anything you use often, boom, just click it
Yeah.
and it'll open.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Just because it's very similar to Apple's dock. But do you like that feature? Do you like the feature of being able to add programs to your actual taskbar
Yes.
that you use often and just click them to open them?
Yes, I do, because it's speedier in opening them.
Okay, so is that something that puts this above Vista?
So Vista can't do that.
Vista can't do that. That has a tiny little thing here called Quick Launch, and you can click little things, but it's not the whole taskbar. It's just this tiny little thing on the side.
Okay.
Okay, anyway, can you turn off the computer? And you know how to do it.
I already do. You go there and shut down.
Yeah.
And that's another difference between this
Yeah.
and Vista, that Vista had a different thing here. What was it? It was
It
standby
looked like
or
a
something.
shutdown icon, but it said standby.
Yeah, now that's what I don't understand. Why would you put standby there when shutdown is a thing that you do more often?
Yeah.
I mean, shutdown is logical to be there, whereas if you wanted to standby, then go into, this menu and select standby. So that's another thing about Windows
Yeah.
7 I like. But just one thing,
Yeah.
because I've been reading comments from our subscribers, there's a lot of mixed feelings about Vista. People think that it was a flop like Windows Me because it had issues, stability issues and this and that, whereas other people were so adamant that it was
Yeah.
a fantastic operating system. Now, I obviously only looked at a brief,
Yeah.
introduction to Vista, and I just loved it on face value, but
Yeah.
obviously I didn't continue with it every day and
Yeah.
experience any instability issues. Why are there such mixed comments on people? Either hate Vista or
Yeah.
they love it, just like Windows 8, they either hate it or love it.
Okay, I'll just tell you one thing. Microsoft, they rushed Vista a little bit when they released it. You'll
Right.
notice that, okay, XP was 2001. Windows Vista was 2007. That's a 6-year gap.
Oh, yes.
And then Windows 7, which was after Vista, was only 2009, 2 years
Yes.
after Vista. And you're probably
Yes.
thinking, why was there such a big gap between Vista and XP? The problem was Microsoft from XP were making another operating system in between Vista and Windows XP, but due to a failure, they never released it.
Right.
And then
What was that one called?
I didn't want. It's called Windows Longhorn.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to tell you that, but just because I was going to get you to test Windows Longhorn in the future and tell you that it was Windows 9 and see if you liked Windows Longhorn better. But I'll just, in the future, you can test Windows Longhorn.
I'll probably forget by then anyway, because with all these operating systems you showed
Okay.
me, I forget things.
Okay, so basically, Microsoft aborted Longhorn after developing it for 3 years in 2004, and they're like, oh crud, we've got to start over, we've got to quickly make
Yeah.
something really fast, and then they quickly rushed Vista to get it out as fast as possible, but it wasn't optimized.
Shut down.
There we go. What do you like better? The XP, or this Windows 7?
This one. Ding, sounds more modern.
You are right now telling me you would upgrade to Windows 7.
Yes, I would, because
From XP.
I love Vista, and now I've seen some of the differences between Windows 7 and Vista, and also thinking about the fact that Windows 7 is going to be supported for a
Yeah.
longer period of time. Look, Windows 7.
Windows XP is going to lose support. Basically, it lost mainstream support on the 14th of April 2009.
Oh, right.
And it's currently got extended support only if you're using Service Pack 3, so you've updated XP to the latest version of XP.
Okay, well, I'm still getting updates on my
Yeah,
computer
so
every day.
Windows updates and stuff. So as long as you've got the latest updates,
Yeah.
you've got support until April 8th, 2014 with XP.
Oh, okay.
So a
there's
year
still
left.
bit of
There's a
time,
year
but-
left.
But anyway, I'd still like to upgrade to Windows 7.
Yep. Windows Vista, released in 2007, is supported, its mainstream support, like the first version of Vista, ended April 10, 2012. The extended support ends April 11th, 2017.
okay, that's still a while
Yeah.
away.
So if you upgraded the Vista, you still have heaps.
Yeah.
Windows 7 loses its mainstream support January 13th, 2015, and its extended support is until January 14th, 2020. So if you want Windows 7, it's supported for the next 7 years.
What about Windows 8?
Windows 8, it loses its mainstream support on 2018, January 9th, and its extended support is 2023.
Well, I'm just thinking, because Windows 8, people are so divided about it, you either love it or hate it, I think they shouldn't lose any support for Windows 7 and just give people freedom of choice of whether they want to have Windows 7 or whether they, want Windows 8.
Well, the difference is
And
just a
support them
3-year
both.
difference. It's a 3-year difference.
I know, but 3 years is still a long time. So...
But by then, Windows 9 and 10 would probably be out. This is 2020 and 2023. Microsoft generally like to release an operating system at least every 4 years.
Yeah, I wonder what the next Windows is going to be like, because Windows 8 is so different.
We'll be testing it.
Windows 8, they took away the start menu. If I'm correct in this...
They replaced it with the start screen. So instead, the idea is Microsoft, they're saying, excuse this this poor quality start menu, but they're saying, why have this tiny little, this is the idea they had for Windows 8, why click this button and open up this tiny little start menu and search programs on this tiny little start menu when you can click a button, have the full screen showing all your programs all at once on the screen? Why have a tiny start menu when you can see everything at once? Why should you have to click here and scroll through and open up drop down menus and stuff? Why not just show all the programs you've got installed on the screen in sorted fashions and showing extra information and stuff? Why limit yourself to this small portion of the screen? Why not use the full have the full advantage of the full screen?
Yeah.
That's what their idea was. And that's what the start menu is. Instead of this, it's a big screen.
Yeah, but it had only a limited number of boxes, certainly not all this many boxes.
Yes,
and more.
it had about 9 to 18-ish.
Which means you still have to go into those boxes
No. Basically, you can either scroll across the screen to see more, or you can actually... Remember Windows 7 has this typing feature? You can actually type, without even clicking a search bar, start typing and it'll show you all the applications based on, like, if you type in S, all the applications appear with S will appear on the screen, and they'll appear as just icons.
Yeah.
Big icons.
But just back to what I was saying,
Yeah.
you said they removed the start menu in Windows
There's no
8.
start menu, it's been replaced
But
with this full screen start screen.
Isn't there a thing whereby you can bring it back?
It's called Start 8 from Stardock.
Okay.
It's
Okay, so-
$4.99 Australian dollars.
Yep.
There's also some free programs that bring back the start menu, which you don't have to pay for them, but their features differ. So that's it. You want to end this video off before you just talk about Windows 7 for...
Yeah.
I think it's because you like this operating system so much you don't want to stop talking about it, so...
Well, actually, I've been talking not only about this, I've been talking about Windows 8
and Vista and everything.
Vista.
Okay.
But this is a real learning experience for me. I'm finding so
Okay.
much out about it, and I'm enjoying it.
And just so you know, on my iPad, I've got all your requests all here. All these requests. Look, these are just requested operating systems. There they are on the iPad. So you can see that I do look through what you say and I do write them down. This is in the order that they've been requested. However, I don't go by the order of requests. I go by how often they're requested. And Windows 7, that's done. So we can get rid of that. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.